Hello stock gurus and welcome to another episode. I hope you're having a beautiful morning in America. I'm here to talk to you about how I would turn $100 into thousands of dollars and eventually millions of dollars. Now, if anyone tells you you can turn $100 into millions of dollars in one day, they're going to be a scammer. If they tell you that you can turn $100 into thousands of dollars in one day, also a scammer.
Wait, scam?
There is a possible way, but the only way you would be able to do it is by using very high leverage or finding an asset that's about to go up 10 times in one day. The problem with using very high leverage is that if the trade goes against you even a little bit, you would lose that $100. And rule number one when it comes to making money is don't lose money. Rule number two is don't forget rule number one. So then how do you make $100 into $1,000 and then eventually millions of dollars? The way you need to do it is you need to consistently invest $100. So if you take $100 right now, it's going to be almost impossible for you to get it into millions of dollars because it's not enough capital to really keep exponentially growing. But if you, for example, were to get $100 every week and invest it, it would very quickly start to compound and grow and exponentially compound. And that's the way you can turn $100 into thousands of dollars or $100 into millions of dollars by consistently getting more of those $100 and investing them into the right places. Where would I put that $100? The first $100 I would split it up because it's such a small amount of money at first. I would split it up into two assets. I would put it into a very high growth cryptocurrency that has the potential of really going 10x or 100x in the future to really make the most of my capital. And I would invest it into a very safe cryptocurrency that has really strong potential. For example, the currency that I'm looking at are two of them that have this potential with very low market caps and potential growth of this magnitude would be Solana, SOL, and the second one, $1. Those are two cryptocurrencies that I could invest in. However, I wouldn't put my $100 only into cryptocurrency because that automatically sets me up that if the cryptocurrency marketplace was to crash like we've been seeing correction recently, I would lose that $100 or it would go very low. I would never lose unless I sell actually, so I wouldn't lose, but I would hold Solana and one 50-50 and the cryptocurrency market would crash, boom, 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 and my $100 could turn to $50 and I would need to wait 1 year or 2 years or 3 years until the cryptocurrency market recovered and these companies were worth more money, which is very possible. And in the future, I believe those two companies will actually be worth 10 times or 100 times their current value. So putting $50 into Solana and it being 100 times its current value, you would have $5,000 potentially. However, I wouldn't put my full $100 into cryptocurrencies. I would start from the beginning the right way. I would diversify. As I teach in the course, the Stock Guru Master Course, which you can find in the link in the description, currently being taken by 1,500 students. Diversification is key. What that means is I would split up my $100. Now, it's not so much money that I could split it too much. So I could really only split that $100 into two assets. I would put one in the stock market, company in the stock market that I just bought yesterday with a lot more than $100, but a good company nonetheless is Twitter. Twitter recently had a huge sell-off from the $85 range all the way down to $50, so nearly losing half its valuation on the recent high-growth tech sector sell-off. So I would put $50 and I would buy from my $100, $50, I would buy Twitter. So $50, currently Twitter's around $55 a share. So I would buy Twitter with $50 and the remaining $45 I would put into Solana in cryptocurrencies, $SOL. So I'd buy two assets. One, the stock market, Twitter, $TWTR, and the second one, Solana, $SOL. Those are the two assets I would buy with my $100. Now, Twitter, I would see it getting back to $87 relatively quickly within 5 months. That would mean your $50 just goes from $50, it almost doubles to $100, which is beautiful. 100% gain in just a few months. It would be amazing, actually. Most investors in the stock market get 10% a year. It's considered good investing. If you've been following me on this channel, we're up 700, or now less because Bitcoin did have a big breakdown. We went from 9,000 when I was making videos on Bitcoin to now 40,000, so around 400%. Dogecoin 2,500%. Ethereum we bought at 400 to 4,000, which is 1,000%. Now Ethereum coming down to $3,000 also, but still huge gains. And many others. Twitter we were buying at $28 on this channel, went up to $80, now sitting at $50. That's why I would buy Twitter and many other companies. Twitter would be one, Solana the cryptocurrency would be the second. Now, how does that make you thousands of dollars or millions of dollars? One, in the future Solana I believe will 10x from where we're currently sitting, so your $50 investment in Solana will be $500. Your Twitter in that same amount of time I think would only double, meaning your $100 most likely would have a potential of $600. However, the real way you would turn that $100 into thousands of dollars, in the future millions of dollars, is that you realize that this $100 was just to teach you that you need to become wealthy. You don't become wealthy and then start investing. Rather, you start investing with $100, and the more you invest, eventually you will become wealthy. The second you start investing, even with as little as $100, is the first step into financial freedom. It's your first step into investing, which means your $100, which you would have spent it more than likely on something else and not had it anymore, instead of that, you bought assets that are working for you. When you bought one share of Twitter, you became a part owner of Twitter, the company, and all the thousands of employees that work on Twitter, they're all working for you now because you're a one shareholder owner of Twitter, meaning you actually own Twitter, a small portion of it, but you are still a part owner of the company Twitter. Your $50 that you put into Twitter is now, while you're sleeping, while you're on the toilet, while you're eating dinner, going for a run, while you're relaxing in the pool, your $50 is working for you in that company Twitter to grow. They have employees, they have CEOs, they have CFOs, they have thousands of coders and programmers all working to grow your investment for you. Your money is working for you. For the first time in your life, because you just started investing, your money now is working for you to grow itself instead of you working. Normally, you have to go to somewhere and work with your time to get money. But when you start investing, that $50 now, it's on its own. It's doing it itself. It's invested in Twitter and it's working for you 24/7 hours a day, working for you while you're not have anything to do with it. You can be asleep, you can be relaxing, and that money is working for you. Even though it's a small amount of money at first, don't diss it, because it was the first step, your first foot into money working for you instead of you working for money. And that's a big step to take. Your other $50 is working in Solana. That company is growing and working in the cryptocurrency space and trying to build this ecosystem, and that money is working for you separate to your time. Now, next week, you get another $100 and you have another $100 to invest. And this is when you really accelerate yourself into financial freedom, the ability to travel the world, the ability to have infinite amounts of money, the ability to go to an ATM machine and withdraw however much money you want, the ability to look into your bank account and see huge amounts of money in the millions of dollars because you've started to invest and you've started to learn that you can get money working for you. The next 100, now you know what to do with that 100. In the last week, the $50 you put in Twitter moving, and you can see that it's changing and making money. You saw that $50 you put in Solana moving and working for you. So you take this $100 and maybe you put it again, $50 into Twitter and $50 into Solana. And then the next week and the next week, and after 52 weeks, you now have $2,500 invested in Twitter and $2,500 invested in Solana, if that calculation is correct. I just did it in a second. But you have now $5,000 after, no, you have more if it's $100. Yes, $5,000. 2,500 now in Twitter and 2,500 in Solana. Except you don't just have 2,500 in Twitter and you don't just have 2,500 in Solana, because each week that you've been investing, Twitter has been working for you. Your money that you put into Twitter is not just 2,500 anymore. It's more than that. It's grown. Twitter has been working for you. They just had a recent big sell-off. Now Twitter might be valued at $80 and your $2,500 is nearly double. It's actually close to $4,000 money in Twitter. And the money that you put in Solana, maybe in the last year of you investing every month, every week, $2,500. Maybe now it's a lot more because Solana's grown in this cryptocurrency space. Maybe it's gone up 10x in the last year. Your $2,500 is now $25,000. And that's the key. Consistently investing monthly, dollar cost average, split up your investment. And what I teach in Stockroom Mastercourse, what you're going to see with the other 1,500 students, technical analysis, you're going to learn when to buy and sell your stock, exact prices. You're going to learn how to make money in the stock market. And you're going to learn that you're going to invest into 10 assets, 5 diversified industries: construction, medical, cryptocurrency, transportation, etc. 5 in the industry you know and love, mine being tech and biotech. 10 assets, Twitter being 1, Solana being 1. You need 8 more, and every month, every week, every time you get that $100 invested into one of these companies. I love Uber in my tech sector. I love Facebook in my tech sector. Pfizer, Johnson & Johnson in my medical sector. And every month, every week, keep investing that $100, and after a while, it will very quickly compound. It's called, Albert Einstein calls it the 8th wonder of the world, compounding interest, time in the markets. And the longer you have, because you started with that $100, each time you get $100, instead of wasting it and buying some, going to dinner and just spending it on dinner, not wasting it, but enjoying it, it's much better to invest it in the beginning and really get your money growing for you and keep investing, keep investing. After 52 weeks of doing it every week, $100, your 2,500 in Twitter has now doubled potentially to 5,000. Your 2,500 that you put in Solana went up 10x and is now 25,000. And if you keep doing that over the years, you're going to build a mega portfolio that is going to allow you to be financially free and retired. And if you're following this channel, you've seen the gains gains we've had in the last year. 700% on Bitcoin on its high, 2,500% on Doge on its high, 1,000% on Ethereum on its high, Twitter 150% on its high, Uber 100% this year alone, just the last 10 months of this channel. So the potential is really there. And if you consistently invest $100 each week, $100 each month, even if you only get $100 every 2 months, as long as you're investing it to grow it, you're stepping yourself and walking on this path to financial freedom and abundance. Just get started now, even with as little as $50, even as little as $100. Start now and start this journey to financial freedom. It only begins when you start investing, not before. You don't get rich and then start investing. You start investing and you become rich. Remember that. With as little as $100, start right now. This is James from Stock Guru. Thank you for watching.